and we start right away with one of our new students. So I would say that Vincent, and Vincent is the first regional review that we do with you.
Yeah.
I'm sharing in your screen. In my screen, you can see your page, but tell a little bit about you, and let's try to keep the presentation in 5 minutes.
Okay. So
5 minutes.
yes, sorry because I'm very late on this training, Fab Academy 2016. So I am the founder of two projects, one called Nouvelle Fabrique, and the other one is Les Arts Codés. We are at Pantin, very close from Paris, and it's a kind of micro factory. So we have different skills on this big cooperative around wood, glass, 3D printing, and light. And in this big cooperative, I'm the administrative head, so I'm not the technical guy of the project, and that's why I wanted to be a part of Fab Academy 2016 to increase my skills in technique. And
what about your final project?
So my final project is a logograph. This is a technical part of a larger project called Wallpaper. The idea is to make a remote control for a project talking about the work of new designers and typographer. Logograph. This is a system help people to make works. I have to start by the idea is to make something for a workshop on libraries, public libraries, and so people can play with typographer, the work of new typographer, and after they put it on the remote control with a screen, and you can play with the number, with the symmetry, with the distance between one letter, and you make from a letter you make a pattern, and with this pattern you're gonna make a plastic roll to put on a roll paper, a roll painter, roll paint, something like this, and you can make your own wallpaper, personal wallpaper. So on the three pictures, sorry, it's very bad draw. I would like to work on the part at the center called logograph and this remote control. Saverio told me that maybe we had to develop the project with maybe other output, because my remote control only play with what you see on the screen, and maybe try to make something else, but to complete my project.
Okay. Well, this is also a task that we discussed a lot at the beginning of the Fab Academy, and we already mentioned a lot of times reviews. I'm sure that Saverio also talked with you about this topic, but what about the development of your final project? It's very important strategy that Neil called a spiral development strategy. So we should be able to understand and the development of the final project according to the stages and the level of difficulty that you can reach. This is very important at the end when you need you will
Sorry.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, many cuts.
Okay, okay, sorry. I was saying that be very towards the end of Fab Academy that
Although
you
we
have.
can't hear you, you have a lot of drop downs.
Saverio,
Hey.
I'm trying to explain
Yeah.
the spiral development.
Yeah, what Aldo says is that you need to have like a core in your project that you can make, and then you can add things like in a spiral going out.
I understood.
So if you the minimum thing you have to do, for example, might be the remote, and then you can add the application, and then you can add the making of the single typos and blah blah blah. So there must be a core that you have to do, and then you can add things.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah, but it's very important also that we see your references. We see an idea of for this spiral development. It's very important that you communicate this strategy in your documentation. Put as well references. You start to talk about possible materials that we can use, and how possibly you can project throughout the weeks of the Fab Academy, or in some specific weeks, if you have any idea.
Yeah.
This is just to implement. You did adding extra information. Okay.
Thank you.
This week.
So for the moment, I didn't know because as I told you, I was very far from connection for 2 weeks. So I just came back last Sunday evening. So I tried to work on assignments for this week and the other one. I will try to make maybe 3 for next Monday, the 1st, the 2nd, and the 6th, this one, and try to push it for next week. So there is nothing permanent on my assignments.
Okay, okay, good. Thank you, Vin.
Thank you.
I'm gonna now call some of the other students. Ludovic. Fabpong, are you there?
Hi, yes, I am here. I am back. Hi everyone, I welcome to the Fab Academy. So this week for me was a short week because I wasn't physically present last week, so I've begun to work on Monday. So I follow all the lecture recorded, Neil's lectures first, and I follow the recorded tutorials recorded by Saverio to work alone on my weekly assignment. So first was to redraw the Echo Hello World board. So I only use the software recommended by the instructors. So it was Eagles because no time to test others, and I am beginner in electronics, so it's difficult for me to evaluate a software. So I follow the tutorial to learn how to use Eagle. One step is to reference all the components needed to design the board. So all the components were listed and must be gathered. First step is to place all the components on the electronic sheet, so the schematic. No difficult for me. The only difficulties is we have a huge list of libraries, and the difficulties is to catch the good components. among thousands and thousands of components. So connecting all the pins of the components. So two methods. First is to directly connect the pin between two components. Second method is to name the pin of the component by the same name, and it's virtually connected by the software. So afterwards, we have to begin the design of the board. So we put the schematic. The schematic is translated into the beginning of the design, and we have to search a good combination between components and to draw all the wires between them. So I made 2 tries. First try is on my week assignment, and the second one is for me better because all the wires are thinner. There is the best optimization of the PCB from my point of view, and so when everything is okay, then we have to export this file to prepare the milling. So an export to have a black and white file first for milling the inside, and second for milling the contour of the PCB. So I've done it, and to finish and conclude my weekly work, I added a lead on my board last night. So I don't know. Yes, it was updated. So and I have to update my board. That's to conclude, and I had no time to follow further. I didn't check the design rules. No time to do it, and no time to mill the PCB and to build the board.
And you haven't put the switch on?
No, I didn't. No, only the LED. Yeah.
Only the LED. Okay. How long did it take you to draw the board after you made the schematic? How long did it take you? Did you were you inspired by the Niels design, or did you try to do it on your own?
No. I'll try to do it by my own.
Okay.
I must say that I was helped by Roman. Roman is working about 3 meters than me, so it's easier. But the second board is my own board.
Okay. No, because the position of the components always ends up being something like that, because it's probably one of the most optimum.
Yeah, because effectively I follow Niels' lecture, and in the first step I place all my components on the schematic in the same place. So I take this order for the board.
Okay. I think your design looks really good. The one, the only comment, it would be interesting to see it milled, but I think you followed a lot of good advice, like no right angles to avoid noise and bouncing signals. The only small concern I could have is your paths are fairly thin.
Yeah.
Given the big milling machine that we have, but I'm seeing where you go in between below the Atmel, you got 3 paths that go, and it's difficult to make it. You could separate them a little bit. So no, the design looks really good. It'd be interesting to see it how that mills. But yeah, and so you'll have to figure out how to add the button to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you will need it for next for yeah.
Why do you need a button?
The question is for me?
It's part of the exercise. At least a button and a LED.
Oh, yeah. I just want to exactly. I want to know why, if you know why, apart from the fact that this
next week you will have to program that board to do something. If you only have a LED, you're quite limited to what you can program.
It's not a and I know, but it was a question to Ludovic. No, I know that you know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just to start to have an idea why we are putting components in on the board and what can we start to do with them. So, do you have an idea for this button? Why we're gonna use it? No, Ludovic?
Yes.
No, it's okay. I mean, no, it's always
for me, yeah. So I am a beginner in electronics, and I have no idea. Okay, for the designing, but for the creating of the circuit, for me, it's still mysterious. So,
exactly. So Mathieu, why are we gonna use the button?
Okay, now you're asking me. Sorry. No, I think basically this is going to be your first device that you have created, and this needs to have a purpose. And basically, a LED is just an indication. But in order for any device to have some sort of purpose, it's nice to not only have an output but also have something that triggers it. So any type of input. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a button. In the assignment, it says at least a button. But I think if you decide to use a different sensor than a button, that would apply. If you're not too sure what you're going to do, just do the button. And basically, you will need to be able to trigger whatever program you're going to load onto that, and that's going to be next week's assignment. So yeah, you need to have two things: something that comes in, something that comes out. So input and output.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Let's go now with Frederic, if he's there. Let me check if Frederic is there. No, Frederic is not. No. See?
Hello.
Good morning.
Do you hear me?
Good morning. Yes.
You hear me? Hello.
See, I hear you. You can talk.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
How was the week?
It was okay. It was okay, but I just did the Eagle part of the job. Just building the schema of the board in Eagle. I did not do the second part, which is to build it with the CNC.
Did you get the components, or are you just going to get this here?
For the moment, I did not order the components, but as I saw that the WUMA components were not all present also, I decided to wait as others to have all the components in one time.
Yeah, I think they all are there. I don't know if I can have a confirmation from Guillaume, but
yeah, I think everything is right now.
Okay. Yeah, Saverio says.
But it arrived yesterday, as I understand, the last one.
Yeah, but
Or
there was only one component missing, and that was easy to substitute. I think it was we had the crystal that they made an error when they shipped a different crystal from the one we ordered.
Okay.
But you can use the crystal we have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little smaller, but it's okay.
Yeah, the resonator is slightly smaller, but it will fit on the trace.
Sorry, the resonator, not the crystal.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from this, what did you use? You use Eagle to design the path. Did you start with Eagle as well?
Yes. What I did is basically I was not present last week on Thursday. So what I did is I looked at the video this Monday, the video from Fabien. So what I did exactly what they did on Thursday. So I first get used with Eagle by doing the simple LED schema. So I did the simple LED schema. So from the schematics to the board. Then I build at the end I build my ground plane on that it. Then I switched to the Echo Hello World board.
Mm-hmm.
So here I did a schematic. We can the final one. I started to do a more beautiful one with duplicated ground and duplicated VCC, but I did not finish it yet. So I built my board based on this schematic. I played a bit with the DRU. I load a DRU from Seed Studio as base, and I modified it because I was not so. But it was more a feeling. My feeling was that the space between the where I have to solder the component on my ground plane or VCC plane was too thin. So I played with the DRU to get more space, to be more at ease when I will solder the component on the board. So you can see the PNG as a result of my work on Eagle.
Wow, that looks really good. I really like the fact that you did the ground plate because as we mentioned on Thursday, this not only gives you a more efficient current consumption, but also it will mill much faster. It's much less work for the milling machine.
Yes, that's what I understood from your course last week. That's what you said.
So it's great that you
Thursday.
did it. I like it.
Very nice.
One thing, a small detail on the last result of your board, your initials
Yes.
might be a bit thin, meaning that when it gets to be that thin, it's quite possible that the copper will not you may not see those letters.
Yeah, in fact, it was the only difficulty I had when I did the board. When I insert text on my board, and I did the RU, it said something strange for me, a message like it's not vectorized, blah blah blah. I did not understood this, and I was not so at ease to customize this part. But this part is absolutely not mandatory for the board to work. So even I can do it if necessary. But I agree the initials are a bit too thin.
Yeah. So, but this is very good job. I think it's very compact board, and you got the ground plate, VCC plate as well. I like it a lot. It's nice. Now you will need to add the LED and button here.
Yeah, exactly.
The LED and button are on it.
Oh yeah, right. I see it now. I see the button.
We can start to.
Okay, go.
We can.
Yeah. Perfect.
We can even try to meet.
Sorry.
I'm saying that if you're gonna go to Woman today, we can probably mill, no? And put the components.
One thing I just want to add one thing regarding the button, because well, the first one we see. There is one thing we said at the maybe it wasn't recorded on the video. It was at the very end. We mentioned on Arduino or Atmel device, the pins have 3 states. They can have 3 states. Not all of them, but usually they will have 3 states. One is 0, one is VCC, and then there's a state that is in the middle, idle. If you put a button, when you press the button, and as you have connected your button here on the board, it's connected to ground. So you're pulling down the pin where it's connected to 0. But when you stop from pressing the button, the state of the pin is not necessarily clear. So what we do often with buttons is we have a pull-up resistance, which means between.
But I understand, Mathieu. I read the doc from ATtiny. I understand that the pull-up resistor are part of each pin of Tiny.
They are inside, but you need to program it. That was my next comment. So if you've done the homework and reading the spec sheet, so you need to program that pin to say that you want the pull-up resistance to be active. Very often you also do the pull-up resistance externally, but on ATtiny you have that option of having the pull-up resistance internally. So good job if you've read that and you know that. So awesome.
May I about the mill?
It was one of my questions also, Mathieu, because the LED schema, I have a resistor combined with the LED. Can I use the pull-up resistor of ATtiny instead of putting one externally, or should I always put an external one close to the LED?
In the case of the LEDs, you're not reading, you're writing to the port.
Okay.
So you know what you're writing. You can write 0, you can write 1. You know exactly what you're writing. When you program, you know you're writing a 0, you're writing a 1. In the case of the button, you're reading. So you're reading what's coming in. And what's coming in is when we press the button, you know it's 0. But when the button is not pressed, you don't know what is coming in, unless you have wired the resistance to the positive. So basically, the pull-up resistance, what it is between your pin and VCC, you put a connection. So when the button is not pressed, it's always going to be 5 volts. Okay? If you put the connection without a resistance, then you're gonna have a problem because you're gonna pull too much current when you press the button. So you need the resistance, and usually it's a fairly high value of resistance, just to make sure that you always have +5 when the button is not pressed. And when the button is pressed, it will be 0 because there's the difference between the resistance, and so there will be a 5 volts potential difference between in the resistance. So your resistance within the ATtiny, you have that resistance. So you use the resistance in the ATtiny by programming the ATtiny, saying you're using the pull-up resistance. I don't know if I'm being clear.
So as I understand, the pull-up resistance inside ATtiny is for inputs, but not for outputs.
Yes, it's only needed for inputs. You don't need that for outputs.
Okay, it's clear.
I just wanted to make a remark. Everybody hear me? Yeah? Good. Looks like it's working. About the milling, I think I heard like you wanted to mill today. Like I said on the Slack, mill is available Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and we can laser cut model on Thursday, but there's a Roma project, like kind of, it's reserved on today and tomorrow. And by the way, there's a small CNC mill dedicated to PCBs and small molding that shall be operational within 15 days. That's the info I wanted to give.
Okay.
I have a question about the milling, because, or maybe we should talk, Thomas, talk about his experience about, because I think, I don't know who else has been milling apart from Thomas.
Well, like everybody, we all milled on the first trials when the right milling bits arrived, and we all know that's long.
Okay, so, but not everybody has milled the last week's assignment, or because Ludovic and Frédéric haven't milled. So Roman, did you mill? No. So far, I've only seen Thomas' result. I just wanted to know about the setting because it's not very.
Listen to Thomas.
The result is, well, it's not finished, the milling. It's not finished, and yeah, the pins of the ATtiny is going to be very hard to solder, I think.
Actually, I finished it yesterday.
Okay.
So well, it was quite thin, but with the heater, the heat blower, I managed to solder the ATtiny.
Okay.
Quite fast, actually.
Okay, I'm seeing it. I'm sorry. I was stopped at the first trial. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I had to. The thing is, I tried 3 times to mill the board before I got a good result. The first attempt was fine, but it took like ages, so I had to stop it because it was too long, and I did the mistake of pulling out the copper inside the board, as you can see here. So it was really too long, and the traces were a little too thin as well. So I did the board again, and I tried a second time, but I didn't replace the file correctly on the USB key, so it did the same thing. So I did this third attempt, and it's the result here. So it's quite clean, I think.
Yeah. It's. I don't like the way the angles are very curved. I still don't understand why it's doing that, but I see the result of your soldering looks good.
Okay, I think the angles are this way because we use a PNG that we import on VCarve, and we vectorize the PNG inside VCarve using trace bitmap. Actually, it's more precise than doing it in Inkscape or Illustrator, but I think it is the reason why there are like round angles.
I'm not sure that is the reason. I think that must be precision in the CNC machine.
I agree with that.
And I also agree. I think this mill is a bit too big to be precise on like its half-tenth of millimeter for the angle. So I believe maybe with a small machine we'll have sharper angles.
Okay. And generally, when we put the speed very low on the machine, the angles are like sharper than if we put the speed higher. On this board, when I milled it, it was 20% speed.
Yeah, I also agree. The slower you go, the less pound it is.
Did you do any type of verification on your board, Thomas?
No, not yet. I didn't have the time.
Okay.
With the square, like was we didn't try doing some little test here, no? Because I see that probably the milling still needs work, and I saw better result 2 weeks ago.
So we are.
I'm just wondering. Okay, Saverio, can you hear me, Saverio? The test. I'm saying if we did the test like we were discussing with Chirac 2 weeks ago. The test on the board.
Like going slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it. We tried with the slower setting, but the result is more or less is the same.
It's just very, very, very slow. When we went at 20% speed, it's just like unbearable. It's too slow.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's still the angles are not so different. I mean, it's still a bit rounded. But I think that this result from Thomas is good.
Yeah, I like it, and actually it gives it a nice original aspect, the rounded edges. I actually do like it, and looking at it like this, I think it could work. I mean, the soldering of the ATtiny is what was probably the most critical on that board, and looks okay. And on the top left, it's a LED.
Mm-hmm.
Is the LED on top left? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a trace. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's not a trace. Yeah, there's.
It's like a leftover.
Yeah. Below the trace of the LED, there was another trace, but actually it's just a leftover. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And the only thing is, I didn't have the time to put the connector on the because I think we have to drill holes on the board.
Yeah, I'd like you to try putting the holes on the cutting on your cutting mat. So when you have two images, you have an image for the traces and an image for your cut. Your cut is just making the cut around. But on that second image where you have just a rectangle, you can add your holes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what are the pins we have for the FTDI.
It's
are
just.
Are they through holes?
Are they what?
They are through holes. The pins we have for.
Yeah. And the thing is, I thought we had SMD one, so that's why I didn't put holes in the.
Yeah. Well, it's a good idea to have through holes for that because you will plug and unplug, and that puts stress on these components. And the one I recommended to Frédéric was also a through hole because that's the one I like best. But yeah, it requires that you do the hole, but it's not. I mean, it's not a very difficult thing, and you should try it. And I recommend that you do it directly on the milling machine, not by hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is digital fabrication class.
All right.
Okay, so since Aldo is not microphone of Aldo is not very good, Who we need to listen to? Guillaume? Right? Guillaume, are you here?
Are we moving to Guillaume?
Yeah, but he is gone. I don't know. It's not listening to us.
Okay. Romain, let's go with Romain.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
Guillaume is here.
I was just grabbing something for making myself coffee. Okay. So here I am.
Yeah, go ahead.
This week, it's obvious I'm late, but I started to catch back my last week lateness, I would say, like retard. So I did my 3D printing this week and milled the Fab ESP clean to can solder it also. It's not over for the printing, but I tried to print 2 circles, like 3 circles with 2 articulation, which is one of the part of my final project needed, because I'll have to have a central part stable all the time. So first trial, the tolerance of the machine or my drawing, but I guess it's the machine when doing the G-code did link the first 2 parts, so I stopped the printing. And then I did another trial, and it was a bit too lousy, the first image, but the concept started to work, so I'll do it one more time, like with different dimensions for it to be able to just work out of the machine like we discussed with Saverio. And for the scanning, I don't know, I'll do a quick scan, and I haven't given up on making our own scanner. So I don't know how you guys feel on the machine building, but if you feel like doing something that scans, I'm on it. If you feel like doing something else, I'm on it, but I'll try to do the scanner anyway.
The scanner would be amazing, to be honest. I would really like it, but some coordination between us. So also with Mathieu and Saverio, we need to discuss about possibly the camera. I saw that Fiore Basile has some documentation of what he did in Cascina. He did a scanner that we can probably do again with the Machine Week. So just a quick comment for the Machine Week. We're gonna discuss today with Neil and Thomas about moving the Machine Week to the next, which I really personally I don't like at all as an idea, but just to keep informed, the week I move it to the next one.
But isn't the next one holidays?
I hope it was clear. No, basically the holidays are the in the one that we are actually working. That's the point that Thomas is substate. How you say is throwing out with Neil. Is discussing about.
Okay, and for the, I'm sorry to talk about
Any comment
here, but for the components, the machine part.
No, let's discuss it.
Okay, let's discuss that another time. Okay.
Saverio, some comments on this document and on this documentation?
Wait a sec. No. For me, it's okay. I saw the model, and yeah, there were problems with the brim, and I mean the pieces were a little stuck together or too loosely. So yeah, but if Guillaume makes it, I mean, working, it's okay. I like it.
Okay. I would say that we should also talk about the software that we are using in order to design the piece.
Yes, of course.
That will be actually.
Until now, it's just pictures. So Guillaume, you have to find the time to write more, to put links, to share the software you used, and also show some screenshot of Cura or Slicer or Repetieros, anything you use. So
the material that we are using to print, the machine that we are using.
Yeah, I know. I did.
I mean,
yeah.
Information. No. I understand the exercise is done, but we missed the all the part of documentation that is still for this week.
But as you see, on week 4, I did put like a bit more documentation, like all the speeds and the parameters of the milling machine. So yeah, I did get back on the documentation of the milling. We're showing a lot of results and the mill. We're listening to Mathieu, the first milling bit we did use. And all the parameters of the milling machine we did.
Okay. Well, I have some comments, but maybe we can discuss about it when I'll be there. Okay. Let's move to Roman. Roman, last but not the least.
I'm here. Yes. So okay, the electronic design. The tools I used, it was Eagle, like because Fabien showed us how to use it, and it was not evident to start. So the FlatCam, the software that permit to switch from Eagle to G-code, Inkscape, just in case to convert, Fab library, just the list of the components for Eagle, and 123D circuit is AutoCAD product that permit to make a simulation. As well, I finished previous week assignment by printing my thing, this one, as you see. So I printed it. You can go just down. It's nearly at the end. So yes, I built. Finally, I make my 3D printer works. So it works. So it's printed. So the tool, this thing is make. So this
very nice.
This is inside, and it cannot go out. So it can be only printed, not taken by reducing the materials, so and so on. Okay, so the current week. What I did the reverse engineering of the Hello World board using the, like I explained it, my technique. I explained it the basic rules I used. So the paths are not. It's my first try. Then I saw that we don't have the quartz, so I replaced this by. So we don't have the resonator, but we have quartz in the stock. So I replaced it by the quartz with two capacitors behind. So then I saw that they changed it. They go into the final version. I go into the final version. So this is the final version is with the button and with the LED. Then I did it with the big, let's name it, for plus 5 volt and for the ground with the base big, large, and so on. Then
that is very nice. Yeah. It's very nice, this ground solution. We never use it.
So yes, it permits
really smart and
to speed up. Speed up a cutting, milling. It permits to speed up milling. It permits to let intensity pass more simple, so reducing the heat and so on. Then I make the two files for our CNC machine, so it's just files for the cutting outside. And then I said, okay, I don't have time yesterday to go to the CNC machine, so let's do something that permit me to check it. So I passed to, you can click on the lower link. It's a simulation of this. Yeah. So yes, I did it. I passed to the G-code and I tuned my rules because I saw that they pass under the chip ATTTiny, so it was so close for our milling bit. So I redo and I just split it them more that the milling bit can pass. And they also redesigned one pass where they pass also too close, so there is a risk of the breach. Yeah, you can click Start Simulation. It's the same, but ATTTiny it's a smaller model. So it's blinking, and if you click the button, you can click the button on the right. On the right, the button, the black dot on the right. Yeah, just click it and take it. Click it. Now just click and push it. Just push it and press it. And okay, now you can see.
It's working.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. When you push it, it stop blinking, and the switch another one on. So the only one problem that on my design I used the internal pull-up resistor, but not on this one because I don't know how to program it yet. And yes, I also read the data sheet of ATTTiny and LEDs. Voilà.
Very nice. It's congratulations for the beautiful documentation. I really love how you document the work. I guess this should be an example for everyone. Okay, Mathieu, some comment about this very nice work that Roman did?
No, no, I agree with you. It's a very good job, great documentation. Only positive comments. It's very thorough. You did everything. Well, you still need the milling, but no, it's no comment other than congratulations. It's nice.
Thank you.
It's a pity that we couldn't mill it. A perfect week to show to Neil. But in any case, I guess if there is chance to talk, we can present your work to Neil and to show also to the others. Since you are so good, I will push you last time. Apart from Eagle, just to give a little feedback. What you think about possibly in next electronic assignment you can play a little bit not only with Eagle, one of the other tools we were in the 2 weeks ago in the other regional review that we did, and apart from that, I mean, good job again.
Yeah, but for me, this job was the first time in my life. So okay, I will, but it was the Eagle took a lot of time to understand how it works and so on. But now I'm okay. It's yes. For the next time, I can try to use something else. Why not?
Yeah, at the beginning, Eagle is a little wow. What am I doing? But then it's very, very easy. I mean, after the first week, it starts to get very easy.
Exactly. Okay, guys, about all the assignment. I'm gonna let you know about the shift. I mean, personally, I have already bought the tickets, so there's not gonna be any change. Well, whatever. I'm gonna. I couldn't make it to. She has this overlap of regional review, but probably we can and we can have her tomorrow. I'm gonna discuss with her again and see if she can quick feedback. But in any case, I see that everything is working very good, and also congratulations to Mathieu for the job that you did this week. Thank you to Saverio that in any case is always there. Yeah, let's connect. We're gonna be ready for next week assignment. Okay, so saludos desde Barcelona.
One thing, who's going to be today at Volume? Are you all coming?
Tomás,
Me too.
Guillo.
Okay.
Okay. The Moscow are not gonna be there.
If tomorrow all of you can come to WOMA, it would be good because I can show you a lot of things and slides and a presentation, a little lecture about CNC milling and plywood. Okay.
Okay.
See you later.
See you.
Bye bye.
Cheers.